Are you struggling to find motivated sellers that will sell to you at a discount? I understand. I mean, if you're using the same old marketing tactics, it's probably getting a little bit more expensive as well, right? Well, would you like to know how to find motivated sellers online for like $1 a day? Well, I'm going to share with you 3 must-dos to finding an endless number of motivated sellers online, even if you've got a really tiny little budget. And if you're really serious about your real estate investing, by the way, click the subscribe button, ring that notification bell so you never miss an episode, because I post cool stuff like this every single week. All right, let's do it.
This is Theriault Media.
Hi, I'm Matt Theriault, CEO of Epic Real Estate. And if you'd like to find motivated sellers online for as little as $1 a day, then you're in the right place, so keep watching. Because I do this for my own business as well as for several of my REI Ace clients. And if you'd like a copy of the 5 building blocks that we use to do this, stick around and I'm happy to give you a free copy. Alrighty, so here's the challenge. And if you've ever tried to find motivated sellers online with social media or paid advertising, you've likely learned that stuff, it's all fine and dandy for other businesses that are trying to sell stuff. But when it comes to finding motivated sellers, we as real estate investors, we're trying to buy stuff, specifically real estate, at a discount. It's a big ticket. And it takes a very different thought process and strategy to try to buy something from someone, not to mention their own home, at a discount than it does to try and sell something to someone at a discount. You see, property owners, they don't normally voluntarily, wave their hand and offer to give their house away. But that's what most real estate investors are expecting to happen when they market online, even if it's subconsciously. I mean, some sellers do, I guess, but they're few and far between. And it's those few that everyone is fighting for. You see, there's a much bigger pool of motivated sellers to buy from that most don't have the slightest clue as to how to find. So to find them, you've got to do these 3 things. I'll give you these 3 things you got to do. 1, identify target. What type of property do you want to buy? Who owns that property? Who's the typical owner of that property? And what are the typical problems that they would encounter? Because you want to follow the problem. Because no property owner in their right mind is going to sell you their property at a discount unless they actually have a problem, unless they are motivated to do so. You see, the problem is what puts the motivated into motivated seller. So follow the problems and the profits will follow. So finding this problem online, it's much easier than most people realize, meaning you don't really have to find them at all. The online advertising machines, those platforms, they'll find them for you. But not how you might think. You see, most real estate investors, they go and try to narrow their target down to homeowners in their market. They'll narrow their search further by focusing on, say, the owner's age or the time of ownership. And then they'll narrow down even further by looking for these problems like death and disease and drugs and divorce, bankruptcy, stuff like that. Because, believe it or not, today's advertising platforms make all of that type of information, available to us as advertisers. And it seems like a smart approach, doesn't it? Well, it actually is, but there's a couple problems with this. 1, it's how everyone is doing it. So the competition there is really high doing it this way. And 2, it's the most expensive way to do it. Because the more specific you dial in your ideal prospect search, the greater the advertising cost, the more that they're going to charge you for that. So you've got high competition and high cost. You don't want that. No, you want the opposite. You want low competition, low cost. And you get this result by you not targeting at all. You see, as smart as we think we are, the artificial intelligence that governs all these advertising platforms, it's smarter than us. These advertising machines, they've got a ton more data than we do, and they can process it in an instant. So don't waste your time doing the targeting. Go really broad with your audience because it's cheaper to do it that way, and then just let the machines do the targeting for you because they're smarter at it than us. You see, we typically cut our clients' costs by 30% when we do it this way. We cut Jeff's in half. So more motivated sellers, less money spent. If you like the sound of more motivated sellers found with less money spent, go ahead and smash that like button. Let me know. How do the machines know who to target for you? Well, that brings us to step number 2, create curiosity. What you're going to do is you're going to tell the machines who to target by creating content that will create curiosity for a motivated seller. And here's what I mean. We've got a few ways that we're doing this, but I'll give you an example of the one that's really crushing for us, and we call it our dog whistle strategy. And you know how a dog whistle works, right? It's a small little whistle that seemingly makes no noise when you blow into it. We can't really hear it, but we can't hear it because it's not a human whistle. It's called a dog whistle. which dogs can hear it loud and clear. And so what you want to do is you want to create a unique whistle in your content that only motivated sellers can hear. So if your ideal motivated seller were say a frustrated landlord, you could create a video titled How to Evict Bad Tenants in 5 Simple Steps. And you don't even have to be in the video if you don't want to do it. You could hire someone to do that for you. We found this girl right here on Fiverr, of all places, and she did a bunch of videos for us just like this for $100 each. You take that video, then you show it to your entire market, really broad. And then you tell the advertising machines to take note of anyone that watched more than 25% of that video. And then what they do is they place them in their own little unique group. We call it a custom audience. And here's why. Because who would watch more than 25% of that video? Well, only landlords with bad tenants. Property owners with problems, right? So the machines then they go out and find more people just like those who are likely to watch 25% of that video as well, so they can add them to your small little audience too. And now that the machines have separated all of these people, they've pulled them and extracted them from your market, put them in this small little group, you can now place your I Buy Houses ads in front of them, this motivated seller group, and because it would be a very small group compared to the entire population of your market, you can reach all of these motivated sellers really effectively for as little as $1 a day, for real. And at such a low cost, now you can experiment freely with multiple types of ads to target your market. Well, that brings us to number 3. It'll cause them to trigger action. This triggers action. You want to trigger the motivated seller to take an action. Like call you or text you or go to your website to inquire about getting some more help with their problem. And you want a system in place to do that, like a call capture phone number, so you can trigger your follow-up system in return. And sometimes there's something that we've done recently that's working amazingly well. In lieu of a call capture phone number system, we've been directing sellers to go straight to the website for more information. And historically, this has been like the kiss of death for online advertising, because the seller will read all about you at your website, they'll read about your service, then they'll just leave to never return. But now we've been using retargeting pixels so we can continue to track them. But we're not putting them only on the website. What we're doing is we're embedding these pixels in the actual link. It's a link cloaker called Covert Link. And we've seen our motivated seller remarketing group grow at almost double the speed by doing it this way. Because, sometimes your motivated seller, they're on their cell phone, they don't have a strong enough signal to connect to your website quick enough, they get impatient, and then they bail before they ever see it. But it doesn't matter. They clicked the link, and now we've got them. The pixel captured their information, and now we can follow them all around the internet. And this is the key to the whole thing, by the way. As the stats show, 80% of all of your transactions are going to happen between your 5th and your 12th contact with the seller. And if you had to personally reach out to every single seller that responded to your ads at a minimum of 5 times to get them to sell you their house at your desired price, you'd never get anything done. So you want a system for that. One that automatically continues to send them emails, sends them texts. It follows up with them with ringless voicemails and letters and postcards, and it continues to follow them all around the internet in the same way that Amazon has been following you around for the last decade. Yeah, we can do that now too. And another thing the stats show is that most of your competition, they're going to give up on a seller after their 3rd contact. So you want to go down this road of building out your follow-up system. It's less crowded the further down you go, meaning the more easy the deals are going to be for you. So your ads, they trigger motivated sellers to take action, and then when they do, your follow-up system gets triggered to take action too. And it follows up until the motivated seller sells. All right, so if you'd like a copy of our lead machine architecture, the 5 building blocks that we use to create our lead machines, and it'll help you build yours too, I'll put a link below in the comments where you can download it for free. Also, if you just like us to do this for you, you'll see information about that there also. Alrighty, so here's what we know. To successfully find motivated sellers online, you must 1, identify target, 2, create curiosity, and 3, trigger action. And you can do it how I showed you for as little as $1 a day. So who do you know that might be interested in this video? Well, feel free to share it with them. And then share it with me below. What did you find in this video to be the most useful? Share in the comments below. I read them all, and I'm looking forward to reading yours too. And now if you'd like to see how we're literally stealing motivated seller leads from our competition, what I did is I pulled out this video right here for you. If you thought identifying target, that piece was really cool in this video, you're gonna love it in this one. All right, take care.